Hi guys, it is time for my monthly. Basically, is your ex coming back? It is usually due end of the first week each month. So this is our November and the first week of December. These are actually the cards from a different deck. I actually do have exactly the same cards in this deck, and I have developed this spread that I called Cat Tarot Knows or X spread, but it also can apply to actually current on and off relationships and sometimes tricky relationships. When I do the private reading, if you're in a relationship, I kind of like use this King of Wands versus Knight of Wands, and I use generic Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands for a reason. So I'm going to spend just a minute to explain this category. So don't start telling me, oh, you're having the same in the same video. Yes, I actually do, because these are just titles of the book that I want to figure out for each sign what's happening this particular month. So the very first category, the Magician. The Magician is the creator, right? This category number one is a starter category. Is this relationship a starter? You know that maybe you want it, but sometimes just circumstances or people are against us. Maybe, you know, we live in different cities. Maybe, you know, temptation is just too much. Maybe family is against it. Maybe we just never find time to see each other. That this is all going to show up in this category. So even if this says you guys are good to go and you will have a happy relationship, if you don't see each other, it just simply kind of like fade away. So this is kind of relationship that's going, this is kind of category that's going to explore that. Then I have here Temperance reversed. And it's purposely reversed because in the upright position, Temperance is talking about patience, and for every relationship we need patience, even though they're selling us and they fell in love and that kind of stuff. Okay, let me be a little bit skeptical about that, right? It happens to all of us. We all crave that, but we do know that something that kind of like turns into flame really quickly also really quickly kind of like fades away. So Temperance talks about merging two very different liquids together, talks about alchemists, talks about seeing this vision for these two people creating their own kingdom, right? The angel. Now, when Temperance is reversed, something is not gelling. Something is not right. Either it's not the right person, or it's not the right time, or it's not the right place, or just not the right circumstances. So these two categories, as you can see, are very important and they are circumstantial. Then it's going to be about you and about your partner, whether you are in a relationship or not. Even though Queen of Wands generally talks about fire signs and King of Wands talk about fire signs, in this particular readings, I am just dedicating this to be you. Why? Because if we have any issues in a relationship, we always have to take a few steps back, sometimes all the way back to dating, sometimes kind of like really figuring out, okay, so what do I want to do and how do I really want to, you know, seduce this person all over again. I want him to see me with fresh eyes, or I want her to see me as powerful and important. So hence we kind of take on this role of Queen of Wands for ladies, or role of Knight of Wands, or King of Wands for gentlemen. So King of Wands is slower than Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is the one who will chase you and eventually is going to settle in for King of Wands. So that's kind of the difference. And Eight of Wands is generally love arrows and communication and the energy card, right? It goes literally, you can see the arrows of love flying in this direction. So I really want to see what's happening here. Is this combination proper? Because sometimes we read into things that other persons say and we create our own reality, or maybe this reality doesn't exist. So it's just going to here tell me in this category what the partner thinks about you or what she thinks about you, and here kind of like how is this communication flowing, if at all. Now this is my karma card. I have 4 karma cards. The karmic cards that I designate as karmic cards are Judgment, Justice, Ace of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. There is a reason for all of them. In this particular card, it's kind of really important for me to see kind of like the emotions from the past that are currently kind of like being looked upon. So this is simply just, again, if you're getting blessings in this relationship, if things from the above looked upon kind of like are favorable, it's kind of like it's not really your will, but it is something that basically depends on kind of like really higher level of thinking. And this card for Wands, which is my relationship, next level, long term, going to the next stage card, is going to tell me about the quality of your relationship. So this is kind of in short description. So hopefully you listen through it, because now I'm going to just jump in and I'm going to just roll out the cards and we can go with that. Okay, so talk to you soon. Hello, my fellow Aquarians. So let's see what November brings for us. So let's see first 10 days from today. So whenever you come here, that's the first 10 days for you, but generally that will be like 5th to the 15th. Wow, the first card is the High Priestess. High Priestess is somebody who is very intuitive, but intuition is basically learned from observation and from your personal experiences, from kind of seeing both sides of the story. And as you can see, this is 1 and 2, kind of like things starting to roll, but still not getting to the speed of jumping into something. So let's see what needs to be glued. A second chance. Kind of like just cannot start. You know, the starter broke down in a car. So how are you seen? Wow. Which sign had this? The world reversed. Interestingly enough, because we are here, Aquarians. This is us. Do you know these are all fixed signs? And do you know that we are the angels? I bet you didn't know that. And why are we the angels? Because you have mutual cardinal and you have mutable signs. So cardinal are before us and mutable after us in each season. So one sign, I guess cardinals, let's say Libra, there will be the leaders, and then we solidify whatever they come up with, and then mutable signs kind of like clean everything and kind of like put the final touches. So we are the one in the middle holding this whole things. So this is saying that some of us are still stuck on the past. We are living in a place that is not typical for us. Aquarians are not doing good here at all. We are forward-thinking sign. We need to screw our head straight. Yeah, sure, it looks like there were some really nice moments, some moments that maybe kind of like were some kind of renaissance, but these moments are keeping us stuck and stuck on this person. As far as the communication, yeah, I guess it's really clear this is not the soulmate. Not anymore. Maybe all the messages have been learned. Maybe the contract is done. This is not charging forward. But it certainly felt like that, felt very strongly at the time. As far as this person, is this person married? This person is under some very strict rules that he or she needs to follow. So what is karma saying? Karma is saying there's still lots of affection. There are lots of thoughts, maybe everyday thoughts, really tender thoughts. It's kind of really interesting because looks like this is one of those Romeo and Juliet. This thing just couldn't get off the ground. Somebody here was like, I'm upping you one. Sharp wording. There were 3 people here. Absolutely. Somebody couldn't come toward us because there was somebody else there. This is not to say they went for a second person either. They almost like enjoyed the chase. And they kind of like didn't care about the carnage that they have left behind. Whew, this is kind of heavy. So let's go the second 10 days. And okay, so this is sort of a movement forward. It kind of like felt this situation, felt harsh, felt being abandoned, felt like I don't know what the heck is going on. It's kind of a couple that is really not a couple, like lots of injuries. But when this is reversed, you see, here's this church. For some reason, they are shunned because church is supposed to invite people, provide with the warmth, with food, with shelter. So why are these two people just passing by? It might be that somebody's married and you just kind of don't belong to this kind of structure, so hence you cannot even ask for refuge. So here, this window becomes the door. So this is telling me that certain things shifted. And I would say you Aquarians shifted, your head got screwed properly based on the experience learned. It kind of like felt receiving, but what has been received was well learned. It's unfortunately has been a really painful lesson. Yeah, somebody was juggling two people, and I bet you will shy away when you hear, oh, I'm separated. Oh, well, yeah, I just broke up with somebody, but no, we don't do that. Or, yeah, she just slept on my couch last night, but we are just friends. It will be like, delete. I don't want to talk to you because it's better to prevent it now than just go down this path. I know what it means. You hurt me, and I'm not going there. So I think that's what happens. Lesson is being really learned. You see, we are seen as the fallen star. What is wrong with them? We are the star. I don't know how many people know. Look at this. She's naked because she wants to know the truth. This talks about healing, talks about following your own star. What most people don't get it in this card, look at her foot. She walks on water. That would be us, guys. We are the Aquarian. But they see us as not reaching out, or that see us as not healing, or maybe we are not healing. Things are hard, I can tell, and it felt shunned and felt probably isolated. I think I would actually not be surprised to see a hermit with this kind of configuration. But this is certainly a card that calls to actually ask other people, either professionals, to kind of like go and reach out, to kind of heal. Again, this is my married person card. Or maybe the marriage has been promised to us. Yeah, you know, this is me and my obsessive compulsive. And if you notice, everything for me has to be really neat. You should see my place. You can eat from the floor. So it upsets me if the cards are not really aligned. But it upsets me more if people cheat. And here somebody just forgot to mention a few things over here, right? And look at them. They are completely clueless. They still think, oh, well, what I did, I had the best intention. I was a lover. I was like a dreamer. And how could they not see what I meant to say? And yet, they kind of like, you know, there are those core beliefs, like, I don't want you to do that. And they just did exactly that. It looks like, you know, there is a spouse here that is in the way. And hence there is this shakedown. And this time, even though we are not healing and we think we had it bad, good luck to them. Really, really, really. Because this cluelessness and self-absorption and I am the victim and you did it to me kind of a thing. Destiny is coming. Look at this. Is coming in karma card saying, you know what? I'm going to wake you up. You will be so shaken off because you need to screw your head properly. This is a biggie. That's not going to be fun. And things will kind of like stall. There is no coming together, at least in the second 10 days. So let's see the end of November, beginning of December. Yeah, What do I want? Do I want this, or this? He's crossing his arms right in front of his heart, not really knowing, not really caring. It's kind of like this lethargy, kind of like, I don't know how to go about that. And as far as us guys, this is a really important card. This card talks about you need to know how to enjoy who you are. It looks like we are doing well financially. We are kind of like doing well, period. Kind of like we can enjoy with having a really nice, beautiful meal that we prepare for us, to kind of have nice clothes. So why are we neglecting ourselves? Why do we think that somebody or something else is giving us permission? And this could be the reason for us being stuck. We have two majors need to get unstuck. And a good start is to get unstuck by saying, oh, whatever happened, happened. I can at least really be nice to myself. So this means treating yourself, and I would advise if you're buying Christmas present, do it really now, because then we get into Mercury retrograde, it will be mess this year. So look at that, they are blaming us. It is Aquarian who did it to them, and bad Aquarian, and I don't know, were you guys the ones who left them? That kind of can mean this way. Well, they're having two people, but how dare you leave me, kind of self-absorption. That's how it looks to me. Communication is, oh boy, I think it is us holding our ground and angrily, listen, I'm not going to take that crap from you anymore. What do you mean I left you? Damn right I left you. You deserve this, kind of a thing. Like, even though we are listening to this, is he coming back? We kind of like are Aquarians, and only Aquarians and Scorpios can say this. Look, I'm not juggling, I'm not jeopardizing this. Off you go. If somebody else maybe want to deal with that, right? And look at them. Look at them. Oh, look at this. I'm so important, and I can please you, and you know, I can call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. And you will go, let me put this phone on do not disturb, and if you come to my house, I'm going to put the dogs on you. And yeah, the communication ceased. And yeah, you know what, this is a good card for us. Options are opening up, because we are holding our ground, and we are saying, you know what, it must be something better in life. Because this is a 7, this is 7, this is a 7. It looks like they kind of like made their bed, and now we're saying just go light into that, because it looks like Aquarians really need to do their healing, and it has been some kind of cheating that kind of left a really deep wound, and it is starting to happen. That healing is starting to happen by actually returning the confidence. And maybe we kind of like did something that kind of like was harmful to ourselves. So we need to kind of start thinking not anymore about feeling, oh, I wish that I have been in this situation, I can return it back. No, it has to be clean slate, starting with who we are, respecting who we are, treating ourselves well. So my dear Aquarians, this is a general reading, and it could be everything, it could be nothing about your situation. But to get your own situation, please contact me. This is on a special, still for $50. So www.cattarot.ca. Just look for XSpread and send me your information. Thank you so much, guys. You know that I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.